Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a hot take on rumors, let's say. Okay, so I got a little Alex Jonesy yesterday and was connected dots, and I don't regret it. Look, I'm just speculating. It doesn't mean I believe everything I speculated on is 100% fact. I just think I think some of that's probably true. In general, it's true because in general, people who have power or are elites exercise that power and try to control things. Um, Now, I still think there was some sort of raid or seizure of servers in Frankfurt. And the reason I believe that is because there is actual proof that some of the voting data went to Frankfurt via the internet. And why Frankfurt would be the question. Um, and additionally, WikiLeaks identified Frankfurt as a hub for that information. So I think there was some kind of raid. Now, the raid itself, the little information that's out there is getting more and more spectacular. I mean, I said yesterday the story was 5 dead out of special ops and 1 dead in CIA, and they covered it up. But now they're saying Gina Haspel, the head of the CIA, was dead, which is one of the rumors. And then the other one is no. They captured her and took her to Gitmo. And on the way, she spilled her guts, and now she's working with the Trump organization to take everybody down. Look, you gotta pump the brakes on this stuff. There's no proof of this. As much as I hate to agree with Snopes here, not that I'm citing Snopes as a source. I don't recommend Snopes myself, but it is suspicious that I went to look up Gina Haspel and immediately Snopes came up and like, nope, she's not dead. I didn't ask you, Snopes. Like, why are you the top story about Gina Haspel? But Snopes is part of the I wouldn't call them legacy media, but they're in the clique that Google kind of runs, I think. And so yeah, they have political reasons why they would want this rumor not just squashed, but to embarrass Trump supporters. So I think this rumor was probably designed to muddy the waters of whatever happened. It's to get Trump supporters on board with a wild conspiracy theory that will discredit them. Now, you could say I'm on board with too much of it. That's a fair assessment. Maybe I am. I mean, the raid could have been simple as, the CIA has a facility, and they do. They have facilities around the world. They operate outside the United States. And Trump got mad at what they were doing, or wind of what they were doing, and he sent a bunch of guys there. And they showed up, and they said, the president showed us. And they're like, what? You're not supposed to be here. Well, the president told us to take your servers. No, we're not giving you the servers. Well, it's the president, and here he is on the phone. Okay, sir. And they just gave up the servers without, with about as much fight as someone in an office complaining about the boss making a decision. The idea that Gina Haspel was there with bodyguards and they had a shootout, I just don't buy it. It's just too much. I mean, maybe it's true, but I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I do think it's suspicious that Snopes immediately came out with a rumor squashing thing, but I guess it's probably because Snopes is more focused on squashing any rumors on the right side of politics, to discredit the right, as opposed to things on the left that might further people's agenda a little bit, and so they're okay with that. Now, that all being said, I couldn't find any news stories, recent ones, about Gina Haspel where there was like a photo of her or video of her. That's not unusual. She's the head of the CIA. She's not exactly going to be super public, even though, the CIA, it's not as secret as it used to be. It used to be super secret. Now everybody kind of knows about it. And if anything, Gina Haspel is just the face of the CIA and what goes on there. Nobody else really knows. I mean, do you know her second in command? No. I mean, because it's, unless you're doing deep dives into CIA stuff, you're probably not going to know. She is probably mostly a figurehead for political purposes to show up and, fight for a bigger budget and explain things to Congress and say, we didn't mean to overthrow that country. It was a mistake, or we weren't really there. Basically, to lie. Because that's what the CIA does. And that's why I said yesterday, we'll probably never know the real story if they're going to keep it secret. Now, if Trump goes out of office and he decides to declassify everything, I certainly hope he declassifies this incident so we could say, oh, that's what happened. But it's highly unlikely. None of this, we may never get the story. Part of the reason, if this is true or partly true, part of the reason Trump may be fighting so hard in the courts to overturn the election or, get the election to where he needs it to be, is that may all be a show. And, that it may already be a done deal, but they want to sell it so when Trump does go to office, they don't have to tell anybody about this. Because they don't want to make the United States look weak. They don't want to say, "Oh my God, the United States had the head of the CIA help rig the election for one political party." This all may be going away quietly, if any of it's true. But yeah, I mean, I don't think she's dead. I don't think she was in Frankfurt when this happened. Why would she be? She didn't need to be there. She's not an idiot. If you were going to have your guys commit crimes, part of the CIA's deal is you get other people to do those crimes. You use cutouts. You recruit a guy, and however you do that, you do it with money or power or blackmail or whatever. Then once he's your boy, you get him to recruit the people. And then if things go belly up, you kill him. So when the cops come looking for the person who set this whole thing up, they find him dead and the trail never goes back to you. So if Gina Haspel was involved in this in any way, she'd be many times removed from this. So far removed, they could never in a million years connect it to her. So she's not going to be in Frankfurt. That would be the dumbest move in history if she was there. I mean, if she was in Frankfurt and this all happened, she's an idiot. She deserves to go to jail for the rest of her life. She certainly doesn't deserve to be head of the CIA. I mean, I gotta give her some credit. If she got the position, she must have some sense of positioning yourself. So there would just be no reason. It's all done over computers now. The only people who needed to be in Frankfurt, and quite frankly, I don't know why they would even place the servers in Frankfurt. Why not just do it in the United States? Why not do it in Canada? The only reason I could think that they would use Frankfurt is because they'd figure that there's some law on the books in Germany that could help them if they got caught, or help obfuscate them, or some event that they could, construct that would help them if they needed to suddenly destroy the evidence. But we'll see. I mean, Trump's got another week to go before things really start to come down on him. But this, I mean, look, I get it. If you're excited about this, I mean, it would be an amazing story, right? I mean, the CIA finally gets taken down. The president, and look, if you're a Democrat, You remember the days of JFK, I think. I mean, JFK was going to break the CIA into a million pieces. Yeah, that was one of the reasons he was admired by people on the Democratic Party. That he was going to do that did make him kind of a great potential president, I'll call him, because he never reached his potential when he was alive, unfortunately. But if he had done that, maybe we wouldn't be in such dire straits today. And maybe that's why they killed him in the end. So, uh, yet another conspiracy theory, right? But I think we have to pull back on this kind of stuff until you have more data. Now, Snopes also said that the raid never happened. Well, I don't know. They've got proof that some of the data went to Frankfurt, Germany, and that's incredibly suspicious. And additionally, WikiLeaks saying, well, it is a hub for the CIA. Okay. And now you got this rumor that a CIA facility was raided. It's not proof, but it's fairly okay circumstantial evidence, I guess. I mean, it might be all we ever get. But it all comes back to Trump. If Trump stays in office, if Gina Haspel goes her merry way or gives up evidence or whatever happens, we'll know in the next week if any of this has any truth to it. Now maybe, again, things get twisted in a rumor. It could be that Gina Haspel just turned over evidence. She could have been working for Trump the whole time. She was appointed by Trump. So maybe she uncovered everything. Maybe she's a hero. You don't know. Maybe that's why Trump appointed her. She'd be a hero, and she helped put in place actors in that, like CIA agents, let's call them. Maybe all those missing hard drives were actually stolen by her CIA guys in order to gain proof that the system was rigged. You don't know. We'll see. But at this point, there's not a lot to see here. There was some kind of raid, and if Trump's got any evidence, either it comes out this week or that's probably it. I mean, it's shaky, very shaky now. And I'll get into the election update in another video, but I gotta say, people are starting to ask, where's Gina Haspel? Where's Gina Haspel? And I think she's just going to show up at some point, and then what are you going to say? I mean, yeah, you could say, well, she cut a deal with Trump, and then she's going to go her own way, and blah blah blah. No, I don't think, And also, too, I mean, she was appointed by Trump. If Trump appointed her, why would he appoint someone who was going to do this? I think Trump's vetting skills are a lot better. I said it myself. The election was a trap. I think there was some kind of trap here. And, it's possible that people wriggled out of the trap, or the trap wasn't set well, or whatever. Maybe they knew about the trap. They've got so many people betraying Trump now. Maybe somebody spilled the beans and the trap didn't work. You don't know. We're not going to know for another week or more. Either Trump comes out with his magic Trump card, and gets back in the office, or he ends up, leaving office and giving it to Biden, and then it's like, well, I guess it was all BS or wishful thinking on our part. So you got to face up to that. But, you can still have hope. There's still like a week left before things just kind of start falling apart. And in terms of the mounting evidence, though, there is more mounting evidence. And at the very least, the history books, I think, will know that Trump probably won the election, and that it was certainly stolen by a bunch of ruthless political hacks. but we'll see. Let's get into it in the next video.